I'm Bishop Bronner, and I'm the senior pastor of Word of Faith Family Worship Cathedral here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have 5 wonderful children. It's been a real joy and a highlight in my life. Even though I'm a bishop and have a doctorate degree, my greatest title is that of dad or father. I really learned to be a dad by the example that my father was to me. I had a great dad, and one of the reasons I think that he was such an outstanding father is because he waited until later in life to have his children. He was a business owner, entrepreneur, and he was probably nearly 50 years old when I was born. So I didn't just grow up with the wisdom of a father, I grew up with the wisdom of a grandfather. He was not chasing dollars, trying to establish his career. My father had a priority of God first, family second, business or career third, and he never violated that order. He set that as an example for me as a husband, as a father, being a provider, that not only taught us in areas of just general things dealing with manhood, but how to take care of our bodies, health, exercise, how to save, how to invest money, how to read, how to study. So he was very balanced, body, mind, spirit, and finances. So my dad was my hero. He is my hero. You know, still to this day, I hear his voice still crying down through the vista of time, leading me, guiding me. Just the power of his example is the thing that intuitively allows me to successfully father my own children. When I moved out of my parents' home, I wrote both of them deep personal letters of gratitude of their pouring into my life, their sacrificing for me, they're encouraging me, they're praying for me. You know, I thanked them. So few kids do that because they have a sense of entitlement. Mm-hmm. And my dad never raised us with that. This is the entitlement generation now. And I've taught my children, you're not entitled, you're entrusted. I'm one of 6 sons to my parents, and so I had 2 younger siblings. So I was used to a baby. I was the caretaker for my 2 younger brothers. You know, I'm 11 years older than one of them, and so I had to tell my mother at one time, this is your child, not mine. But you know what that did? A lot of men, if they've not been used to handling babies, they're sort of timid about a young life of a newborn baby that is so fragile. But I was used to that. I knew how to hold a baby. I knew how to change a baby's diaper. I knew how to feed them and how to burp them. So those things were very natural to me because I learned that in my father's house, taking care of his children.
So you were very active with your wife and your children. You were like one of those standoff dads that like.
I was very involved. It's you know, being a parent is a full-time job with both parents involved. I mean, it's not that you have a vacation just because you have a spouse. It's a full-time responsibility, but it's a joy because you're sowing into a seed that is in the ground that is going to produce an incredible harvest. Oh, you know, kids say the darndest thing, and like. I've been with them in public somewhere, and one of them, you know, stopped someone and asked them why they were so fat, and they really were. I didn't have an explanation for it, and I almost got tickled, and I really had to fight it with everything. I was embarrassed for them. You know, because they didn't ask me, they asked the person, but in my presence. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was an inappropriate comment, but it was the brutal honesty of a child. And there was no way for me to clean it up. And I just had to act as though I was sternly disciplining them, but I was cracking up on the inside.
That's terrible. What's your most important job as dad?
Probably that as an encourager. Just to let children know that they will make their own mistakes in life, and you never you win some, you learn some. You never lose unless you fail to learn. And so it keeps an open line of communication. That's a real gift, is the openness in communication that I have with my children, because they know that they're going to be loved unconditionally. They know Dad doesn't love them because they make good grades, because they keep their room clean, because they do this, that, or the other. A parent's love, it should remind them. It's, the way that I love my children should be the first example on the earth of the love of God. And that's what I ask God to do through me, to let His love, His unconditional love, shine through me. To me, love is it's a commitment. It's an unconditional commitment to an imperfect person. And so I want my children to know that they're not perfect. I'm not expecting perfection out of them. I'm loving them even through that, enough to be able to develop them, to correct them, and to help them to learn and grow.